What's going on, guys? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and in this video we're going to look over Sphere 3D and Cleanspark. These are two Bitcoin miners that I currently hold, and one I am more bullish than the other, and I'm sure you guys can guess which one it is. But before we get into this, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I put out daily videos, and I definitely appreciate the support. And make sure you check out the links below for some free crypto and stocks. Now, first off, let's look at Bitcoin and see what it's been doing lately. Now, looking at Bitcoin as of late, it is starting to take back all of this gains, and I wouldn't be very surprised to see it come down towards about 39.500, excuse me. I expect to see that every time we have this huge green, it literally goes through the trouble of taking every single bit back of it, and I'll show you on the charts here. For example, right here, went through the trouble of taking everything back right here, and we see this multiple times. We see it here, we see it here. Every single time we get a huge run, it just goes through the trouble of taking every single bit back of it, and I personally expect this to be no different, but we are near that end point where we come back to the beginning of the rally, and then we can possibly push higher. I personally really don't expect to see Bitcoin in the 20s at all. Unless there was like more fear in the market than we have ever seen before. I highly doubt that. But I do potentially see Bitcoin coming down to the 35,000 area. Definitely possible. But I see under 40,000 as a great time to add to it. Extremely bullish on Bitcoin while it's under 40,000. I see it as a gift. Now, next up, looking at Sphere 3D on the charts, it appears that it stopped this huge downtrend. We've been kind of just bouncing sideways. We've been creating lower levels. I want to see us not break this 160 area. If we do, we're definitely likely to fall further. This one, I personally expect that we are not near the bottom yet. That termination of the merger with Gryphon Digital definitely hurt the stock, and that was the main reason I was here for this one. Fundamental-wise, it's really not the prettiest. Revenue has been going down, year over year, quarter over quarter, and that's not good. And I personally expect that Sphere 3D can definitely see some lower levels. However, I'm going to hold towards the end of the year because I do see a potential pump coming. However, I may have to take that loss on this one at the end of the year, but I'm going to wait. I don't think it's over yet for this one, and I'm not ready to take that loss yet. But as for a really important point that you have to look for, that if we break, we are going to likely push even further. If we hit 129, this support area here, if we can break out of that, we're definitely going to push further. So if we do come down towards that level, keep a close eye on it. If we break it, we're definitely likely to come down to $1 even. But there are definitely a lot of headwinds facing this one. Now, they're going to have to acquire a lot of debt or potentially dilute if they're going to get going on this huge expansion of miners. I'm going to stick around because I think that if Sphere 3D is able to get their mining game going, they might be able to turn their company around financially. But we will see there. I think in the meantime, until they get it going, then we will likely see some dilution. So personally, if I were you, and if you don't have a position yet, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would personally wait on this one. Watch it just over the next 3 months, 6 months, see if we break some lower lows. Otherwise, if we kind of just hover around here, I'd say over 3-6 months, it's probably okay to start averaging through. But I personally think it's a falling knife and it's going to continue downwards. But that's personally just what I think. Although this might see a little rise if Bitcoin does push over 40, start pushing 43, 45 or something. However, I think that'll be short-lived personally. And I think it's very likely that they're going to dilute and it's going to hurt current shareholders. So I'm going to be holding this one through the end of the year, see how it goes. Might have to take that tax loss on it, but it is what it is. And that's why I have a well-diversified portfolio, keeping these very risky plays to about 1-2% max. The price of sales on Sphere 3D is very ugly. Although their cash to debt looks decent, according to Yahoo Finance here, just be aware that they are a money-burning company. This cash on hand is going to likely dwindle over time, and they're going to have to dilute. And this is an older article, but they are buying carbon credits, which this isn't a huge expense, obviously, but it shows that they're not going to be mining with renewables. And if anything, this is more of a PR play in reality. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of companies that acquire a bunch of carbon credits to look good. But that was Sphere 3D. I'm definitely a bit pessimistic on that one. I do expect it to create some lower levels, and I'm not going to be continuing to add to it. I'm going to hold my position till the end of the year, see what happens with it. But luckily, I have kept that one small to about a 1%. Now, one that I haven't kept small is Cleanspark. I'm extremely convicted on this. Yes, I'm breaking my rules, and I'm much more higher than 2% on it in terms of my portfolio sizing. But I'm extremely bullish on Cleanspark. And right now where it's at, it does seem like we're trying to hold this area as a level of support. But keep in mind that we are still continuing in this downtrend. We may continue further until we break out of this. Might be Monday that we try to push out of it. We're definitely seeing a rough week. And it definitely isn't helping that Bitcoin is dropping lately. And it seems like the way that Bitcoin's been playing lately, it kind of rallies into the market and then pulls back. Cleanspark doesn't enjoy the rally, it only enjoys the pullback. But to me, that's a clear sign that Wall Street has their mitts in Bitcoin. because right into the market you will see it start dumping usually, typically, and then when the market closes it usually starts recovering, just kind of what has been happening lately. And to me it's kind of clear what's been going on. While it's under $10, I think it's an absolute blessing, and we're not going to see $10 for very long, I don't expect, personally. Now, as we start turning around, I think this 970 area will become our resistance here. We kind of have a couple points that it became a resistance, and also recently here, it was a resistance at this trend line. Once we break out of that, we will push higher, and then likely find a resistance at about $11. And one thing you have to look out for Cleanspark here is their earnings is coming up within about a month. So that's coming up very soon. I'm extremely excited for that. I am hoping that they're going to be positive EPS again. That will cause Wall Street to turn their head. Look at this one. It's definitely nice that we were profitable once. If we see a second profitable quarter in a row, that is going to be huge. And of course, I expect to see increasing revenue personally. And we kind of get a cheat sheet with the mining update. We can't really see their energy side, what they're doing, but we can see what their mining is doing in terms of Bitcoin per day. And they have been getting very close to about 11 Bitcoin per day. And while they're getting their immersion cooling up and running, they're going to get an increased efficiency, also adding more exahash, and also this Lancium deal. So there are a lot of huge things coming forwards for Cleanspark. They're going to continue to increase their hash rate. I think they're going to blow past that 4 exahash by the end of the year personally. And yeah, I'm very excited for Cleanspark. And their earnings is coming up very soon. It's expected to be May 5th to May 6th. This is just the expectation. This is not confirmed yet. But based on their previous earnings, this is where the date is expected. So beginning of May, watch out for Cleanspark. The earnings is coming May 5th, May 6th, around that week. And right before then, we're going to get our mining update for the month of April. And I will be covering that, so stay tuned for that. But that's all I got for you guys. Just a quick update on a couple of my Bitcoin miners. One I'm bullish on and one I'm not so bullish on. But let me know in the comments below if you think I'm wrong with Sphere 3D or if you think I'm wrong with Cleanspark. Thanks as always, guys, and I'll see you next time.